be, practice the piano much more effectively for the for the young students?
That's right. That's a very, very good question. So mechanical repetition is the worst. Let's say, okay, I don't have any music here. So I'm playing. Oh no, that's not right. Oh, that's right. And just keep practicing it like that until I'm sure I got it right. This is basically mindless practice, and it doesn't take into account the element of artistry. So the student will get bored, and they will practice mechanically. They will turn into a good little machine. But if you play it wrong, then in the correction, if for instance, I played that interval, that's the interval of a fourth. Oh, this is the interval of a sixth. Oh, interval of a fourth feels one way, interval of a sixth feels another way. And now, can I feel? So I'm not practicing mechanically, like I'm beating the right way into my head. I'm practicing in an exploratory manner. I'm trying to sense, oh, what did I do that was good? So I will repeat more often when it's correct than when it's incorrect. And when I repeat it, I will never repeat it the same way twice. I will do it pianissimo one time. I will do it forte another time. I will do it diminuendo or crescendo. And I will always try to keep it fresh so that the experience of practicing is the experience of asking questions and finding answers and then feeling successful and triumphant in the answer. Oh, wow, I feel better because I solved the problem. So there's this speculative approach. Now, of course, little children, it's hard to get them to be speculative, except little children are speculative by nature. They're curious by nature. So if a parent is practicing with the child at home, then the parent can sort of guide that curiosity instead of beating the curiosity into the ground by, you must repeat this until it's correct. So there are many, many different ways to do it. Even learning notes, oh, that's a C, that's a E. But actually, it's a form. It's space, space, space. Or it's line, line, line. Or it's line, 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 space, line. Oh, it's going up by leaps and coming down by steps. It's a form on the page. So, and if I see something like this, I can look at the notes. C, G, E, C, E, G, C, F, A, D, G, B, E, G, C, which is completely mechanical. It's like taking, everybody knows how to read, so I'm going to read. I'm going to go A-L-A-N, F-R-A-S-E-R. Well, I should be saying Alan Fraser, right? And here I should be saying C major, oh, F major, oh, G major, C major again. And watching the form of how the form on the page, if the dots are together or the dots are apart, that's like notes together or notes apart. So the form on the page and how it looks on the keyboard, there's a correlation. And if you start reading forms instead of grammar notes, C, E, G, then it becomes a completely different part of the brain is involved in the reading process. So if we can ignite that part of the child's brain, then learning notes becomes a completely other process. So there are, of course, there are many, many ways, but those are, I could give a whole lecture on that. But those are a couple of ways of making the practice less tedious and less mechanical and more like an artistic process, where there's stimulus response and evaluation and re-implementation. Okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Great. Yeah.